So, I ask to give our warmest welcome to Mr. Matgo Law from Hong Kong.
Thank you. Coke, star-based Coke. Why I bring up this topic? Because to start with, there are many old Chinese terms, Chinese descriptions about the features, the types of the sake. Among the cooks, the old terms including, let me tell you, some of the terms you are very familiar with, like horse cook, grass cook. These two names, these two terms have been employed and written in the American Chemical Standard, the 18C standard. Other terms like Jin Mo. Mo is cook. Jin is arrow. The shooting arrow is one of the terms. And other funny terms like Min Lui Chong Zham. If I translate it, it is needles hiding in cotton. What it means is needle is the outer coat. Cotton is the undercoat. So that means the dog's coat really got an outer coat with an undercoat. Is that a good coat? No. Sardines would not have any undercoat, right? So, well, what I'm trying to say is, it is not necessary. All the old Chinese terms are right, and you are going to believe those. Actually, about the Chinese terms, one very bad thing about the Chinese terms is we belong to different cultures. Chinese people always employ something, another thing, maybe another animal or another stuff or another matter. They employ it to describe another thing. So that is what we are doing all the time. So they try to tell the cook type by horse cook, grass cook, etc., etc. It is not necessary. They are talking about the sake should have this cook. But these are some description. They use another object to make a comparison and try to tell people what is the cook should look like. But the problem is, we are living. I brought up in a Chinese culture. You are not. So, the same thing described, form an image in my mind, which is not necessary, can form the same image in your mind. I hope I make you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah? So, when I first tried to introduce the bid to overseas in early 1970s, I know all these terms. And in my mind, I know what these terms mean and what these terms refer to. But I myself, I'm very much reluctant to introduce all these terms because I understand that will confuse your mind. What I'm trying to do is, I try to put up what I believe is right in some sort of technical wordings. So from the wordings, everybody can understand what is good and what is bad. For the cook of the sake, basically, I'm looking for 5 things. in their priority. Number one, texture. Texture is always number one. Chinese people, well actually, what I'm talking about Chinese people, I'm talking about Guangdong people. Guangdong is a province in China along the South China Sea, and that was the origin of the bread. That was the origin of the satay. Actually, my parents migrated from China to Hong Kong from that county. So I can say Chinese satay is a breed of my, well, at that time, county, now a city. And that city is in Guangdong province. So what I'm trying to say is, people living in the northern part of China, we belong to somewhat different culture. So if I employ a term about the satay and I tell them to a Chinese people, a Chinese guy who lead their life in the northern part, he may not understand us. Yeah? All parts of China, we have, on the whole, we have similar cultures, but not exactly the same province to province, because China itself is a big country. So, back to the cook of the satay. There are basically five things I'm looking for. One, texture. We want the satay cook to be really tasty, harsh. If you run your hand over the cook of the satay and you found the cook is really jabbed your hand, you feel uncomfortable. And after that, you found red spots along here. Oh, to us, that's the best food. So that is why I'm telling you my different, would be different. My opinion would be different. Texture always comes first. Second, the cook should be off-standing. Off-standing means it's standing up, not lying flat and close to the skin, close to the body. Three, as short as possible. The shortest cook of the satay is not necessary to be the best cook, because texture always comes first. But the number 3 requirement I'm looking for is as short as possible. 4, no undercook. So the old Chinese term I introduced you, that 棉裏藏針, needle inside the cotton, is not a good cook at all. Number 5, but number 5 is not a problem now. The satay cook should have no sin. A satay cook should not shine, but a healthy cook. That means the cook of the satay should not be so bright and shiny like a Dobie, like a boxer. No. But it's got to be a healthy cook. These 5 are the 5 basic things I'm looking for the cook of the satay. But I would like to say more about the horse cook and the brass cook, because these terms had been employed in the AKC standard. The horse cook, 馬毛, horse is 馬, cook is 毛, okay? Horse cook, in our mind, is the shortest cooker that a satay can grow. But if you consider the texture of a horse cook, it is that sort of very smooth, velvet-like. You know what I mean? Yeah. Short, but not harsh. Sort of velvet-like, but very short cook. That is, in our mind, that is the real horse cook. Brush cook, in our mind, is Those dogs that I described have a very strong feature, harsh, bristly. When you touch it, you find it jab your hand. That is what we call the brush coat. So, the longish, soft coat, they are not in our sense a brush coat. I don't know who introduced these type of terms to overseas, but it end up that, well, horse coat and brush coat carry a different meaning. So, remember, to us, texture is always number one. I prefer the South Base coat to be a little bit long, but if the texture is really that good, that is a better coat to us. Okay? That finished my saying on coat. Second topic, dilute colors. Let me see if I missed anything. Colors of the saké. In my early days, when I started with the breed, there are only 4 or 5 colors. Those fawn color, sandy color, light red color is the normal color and the most popular. Second color is the blacks. The blacks, sometimes you say if a black dog in the summer sun, high humidity, the black coat, especially on the top, on the back along, it turns to some sort of rusty color, it is not really black. But as far as the dog have dark brown eyes, black nose, you open the mouth, blue black tongue, blue black gums, it is always a black dog to us. It is not any color, any other color. Number 3 is the cream color. Cream color is basically that sort of milky color. Basically, got some on the ear, yeah, and in some parts they got a little bit cream there. The same strong pigmentation, but the thing is, puppy from birth they develop the pigment, and later on, the black pigment of the cream dog and the center of the nose will become a brick color. A brick, a piece of brick, the brick used to build a house, that type of color. In a child's world, you know chow, another Chinese breed, they are standard. They don't allow the nose of any color other than black except the blues in the chow world. So, there are many very excellent cream chows. They never become champions. But when I first draft the standard of the saké, I am aware of that. So, in the standard, I also give room to the cream dogs. That is a true cream dog. That are the 3 basic normal colors. Sometimes, or very occasionally, we may have what we call a rusty color. Rusty means when a piece of iron, when it's oxidized, it becomes, that sort of reddish. So that is what we call a rusty color. Actually, rusty color is a fawn dog, but on the tip of his hair, the tip part, the part on the tip, it is a black color. So when you look at the dog from a distance, he got a dark pass all over. That is what we call a rusty color. Normally, rusty color got very strong black pigment. They got very dark brown eyes. Even the nails are all black. Rusty colored dog, in my breeding program, if you find your dog is losing pigment very quickly or at young age, we always introduce a rusty colored dog to bring up the pigment again. So that is something we use on that, what we call the rusty dog. I think nowadays you call them sables. Okay, the dilutes. Basically, in my early days, there are only two dilute colors. One is what we call a five-point red. To me, it is a dilute color from the cream. And you found the dog with fleshy color on the nose, around the eye, along the lips, and you open the mouth, even it is not a blue-black on the tongue surface, it is some sort of lavender or purple. And also, got light color here, down there, in the back, and also on the anus, under the tail. That is why they call it 5 points, is those 5 points that show fresh light color. So that is a dilute. And the other dilute that I ever saw is a chocolate. Chocolate is not, I don't think the genetical makeup of that chocolate are the same chocolate nowadays. A chocolate always pop up in an all black litter. 2 black dogs raised together, 5 puppies, one of them can be a chocolate. But it seldom happens, but it happened. So to me, at that time, a chocolate is some sort of mutation from the normal black color. So that is the only 2 dilute colors I come across in my early days. Well, I must tell you my position, my own thinking, my position in dilute colors. I don't discriminate the dilutes. It says in the standard, as far as the Sarpe got a whole color, it is correct. So dilute colors, nowadays you have many dilute colors, but it is a whole color. So it is accepted. I always give such an example. I said, if I'm in the ring judging, in that class, there are only 2 dogs. And that 2 dogs, it's just hypothetical example. It will never happen. If that 2 dogs are 100% identical to each other, in real life, that never happened. But I just presume that 2 dogs, just like 2 plastic toys manufactured from the same factory, okay? So they are just identical to each other. But one is a normal color form and the other is a chocolate. In that show, in that class, no doubt, I will give the first place to the normal color form. Why? Because 2 dogs are 100% alike to each other, except one thing. That fawn color dog got one thing more, that is the black pigmentation. So that is the reason I put that up. Fair? Yeah. But on the other way, if there are only 2 dogs, the dilute color one got many virtues, many good points over a normal color dog. And no doubt I will put up the dilute. So that is the example I always give to anybody about my thinking, my position with the dilutes. It comes to the point I really want to say is, I don't have experience in breeding dilute color because I never breed one. I never breed a dilute in my breeding ages in the past. But I understand dilute colors, chocolates, blues, lilac, well, there's a lot, are very, very popular nowadays in many countries, in America and in other countries. Months ago, I even received a copy of magazine, Sapi magazine from Russia. And I turned the pages. There are lots of advertisements there. And I found pages of dilute colors more than normal colors. So that makes me think dilute colors is nowadays very, very popular. What I'm trying to tell you is, again I must say, I don't have any experience in breeding dilute colors, but I learned this from other breeds of dogs. In England, there's a big bull terrier. Bull terriers, nowadays, you have the white bull terriers, you have the brindle, you have the fawn, you have the tricolor, you have the black brindle and white, etc. But in the early days, I think in 1930, 1940, in those ages, blue color, I mean in bull terriers, white color is the only color. At that time, I think breeders, they did not know about the defects of breeding. They keep on generation of white to white breeding, and white to white breeding goes on. And they don't aware, they should even, they have white dogs, but they should maintain the black pigment. So eventually, they found the puppies, the white puppies, losing and losing and losing the black pigment. And eventually, the puppies have problems to see and to hear. After that, they alert there is a problem there. So they involve some Staffordshire Bull Terrier's blood into the Bull Terriers. And they bring back the black pigment into the breed. And of course, well, once you cross the breed, you need to purify it again. And it is difficult and long tail, but they do it. Nowadays, in the Bull Terrier world, you have, in America, white Bull Terrier and colored Bull Terrier are two varieties within one breed, but they interbreed to each other. In other countries, they are, well, when you go to the show, you find white dogs, colored dogs, fawn dogs, brindle dogs, and they are bred together. So nowadays, the all-white Bull Terrier have a patch of black or brindle on the eye, and half of the ear is got a brindle color. And for other breeds of dogs which are pure white, like the Maltese, like the Bison, like the West Highland White Terrier, like the, well, many other breeds of dog where they require the dog to be pure white. But all standards of them, all the standards, they denote, they ask the black pigment to be maintained and kept. So I think there is some meaning behind. I don't know with the dilute color of the Sapi, if you keep on dilute to dilute, breeding dilute to dilute, probably you got all dilute puppies from a breeding of blue to blue or chocolate to chocolate. Probably you get the same one color, which are dilute color. But I don't know. These type of defects in seeing and hearing will come to the breed or not. I don't know because I don't have that experience. But please, breeders, you must watch on that and keep on some tests on the puppy. See whether the puppy can see properly and hear properly. So if you want, well, to me, what I would do is, if I'm still a breeder, I would, after I do dilute breeding for 1 or 2 generations, I will always involve a normal color with strong black pigment into the breeding program. And again, like I just said, the rusty color dog, now we call it sables, they are strong carriers of black pigment. And if you got one and it's put with other qualities, you need to consider. So, yeah, that is what I try to say about the dilute. Okay, then we have